Hello?
Got my phone.
Oh no.
Alright, now I'm gone.
Okay, bye.
Love you.
Love you. Okay, hi, it's me again. I'm back. Welcome back to Book by Bookish Bird. No, by Bird by Bookish. Bird by Bookish Bird. I'm Grace, and this is gonna be just a cute little weekend reading vlog. I've really enjoyed making these. It's currently Friday, so I took today off from work to read, and then I'm taking Monday off to go to a bunch of doctor's appointments. But it's just gonna be a nice little long weekend for me. We've got some fun plans. The Super Bowl's this weekend. So yeah. The first book I'm reading this weekend, I started it last night, is The Friend by Sigrid Nunez. It doesn't have the Enye. I'm really enjoying this so far. Heads up that this book deals with suicide and like suicidality. And so if you're not interested in hearing about that, I will try to hold this book up so you can scrub through and like skip it basically whenever I'm talking about this book. But basically, the unnamed narrator inherits a dog from her dear and close friend who has recently taken his own life. And I just, based on that synopsis alone, I'm ready to be hurt. I'm ready to cry. And I can tell from the prose, I'm a quarter of the way in, I can tell from the prose that I probably will. I think it's beautifully written, and it's really interesting. It's written in the second person. So you are her friend that has passed. And it really gives this very melancholy, really poignant sense of grief because she's remembering you. She's thinking about you. And yeah, it's just really beautiful. It's beautiful. So gonna read that. It's a pretty short, it's a little over 200 pages. So I think I can finish this today. My only plan today is to read. That's my only plan. And so depending on the emotional state that I'm in after this one, I might pick up, here's what I'm thinking. I've got 7 library books checked out in addition to this one. So I really have quite a variety. I have quite a selection. And so it really just does depend on how this makes me feel on the inside. But my kind of on deck books. One is Delphi by Claire Pollard. I saw Ben over at Benjamin Journal read this. And it basically sounds like it's a pandemic novel. In Claire Pollard's exquisite debut novel, the plague has arrived in London, and the entire world quickly succumbs to the surreal, chaotic mundanity of screens, isolation, and disasters large and small. As our unnamed narrator, a classics academic, navigates the tightening grip of lockdown, a marriage in crisis, and a 10-year-old son who seems increasingly unreachable, she becomes fixated on forms of ancient prophecy and prediction, one of humankind's oldest lifelines and most necessary follies. Shifting her focus from chiromancy, prophecy by palm reading, zoomancy, prophecy by animal behavior, and oinomancy, prophecy by wine, she fails to notice the future creeping into the heart of her very own home, and when she finally does, the threat has already breached the gates. So that just sounds really interesting to me. I enjoy the reference to like Delphi, like the Oracle of Delphi, and like ancient Greece and Greek mythology is like really interesting to me. And I have yet to read, I've read Station 11, but I've yet to read like a recent pandemic novel that was written like after 2020. And this, I believe, was published this year, 2022. So fits the bill. I'm also very interested in reading 7 Days in June by Tia Williams. I got the large text from the library. That just happens on accident sometimes. This is the one that was available. And this is a romance about 2 authors that in their youth had an 7-day love affair. And ever since then, they've been like estranged, but they've been secretly writing about each other in their books. And then they come together at a literary conference, I think is kind of the gist of it. I've heard nothing but good things about this. I've heard it's gorgeous. I've heard it also kind of rips your heart out a little bit. So I don't know. I also, if I just truly need like palate cleanse, a true like romance, I might pick up Honey and Spice by Bolu Babalola, which follows like this is a fake dating. Yeah, I think this might be the one. Those are the three that I'm contemplating after The Friend. So we'll see kind of what I'm in the mood for. But I'm gonna get to reading and I'll give you an update later on. I fell asleep. Murphy. Hey, are you stuck? Oh no, he's stuck. Okay, so I finished The Friend by Sigrid Nunez, and I thought it was great. It was really good. It did not emotionally devastate me in the way I anticipated, which is fine. I kind of went into it with some expectations. But it really is a novel about friendship and grief and writing. And I was very moved by it. I really enjoyed the prose. I thought it was it just really moved me. What was I saying? I really liked the second person narration. I thought that was a very interesting way of really bringing the reader into the internal world of the kind of plays between first and second point of view. And I just thought that was a really compelling way to write this book. I love Apollo, who is the dog in the book, and I just really, I don't know, it made me think of my relationship with my dog and just like how much I love my dog and how like precious to me Murphy is, and like what a gift it is for me to like be a source of love in his life. And yeah, it just really makes you think about friendship, really makes you think about living and also writing and telling stories. So anyway, I thought it was great and really glad I read it. I read it like basically in 2 sittings. I did fall asleep in between there. But first book of the weekend down. Feeling energized. So it didn't, like I said, it didn't devastate me in the way I anticipated. So I think I might try and read the first chapter of Delphi. I also see Long Division by Kisi Lehman over there, and that's kind of like beckoning me. I've got a really good stack of library books, so we might just go for it. I don't know. I'm gonna do some digging and I'll let you know what I decide. Okay, so I did decide to pick up Delphi by Claire Pollard, and I'm really enjoying it. I'm 40% of the way in. It is a pandemic novel. It is about this woman and her family during the pandemic. But it looks, each like chapter, they're very, very short chapters, is another way of telling the future. So this one's hard to say, but like there was a chapter that was Cosmomancy, Prophecy by Burning, Hematomancy, Prophecy by Blood, Augury, Prophecy by Bird Formation. So like each chapter is kind of looking at prophecy or like fortune, future telling through that way, and against the backdrop of the coronavirus and the uncertainty during that time, the uncertainty of the future. And it was like more uncertain. Like it felt more uncertain than like normal times. So it's interesting. It's really taking me back to those days. It's really, yeah, it's just like a play-by-play of like the hoarding of the toilet paper and Zoom meetings and going to visit somebody and sitting in their yard with them and family tension. And it is like COVID. So COVID 100%. So I'm going to see how much farther I can make in it today. I am enjoying how everything, I am enjoying the brevity of the chapters, and even it's written like the text is pretty large and there's like chunks, like very kind of fragmented, which I'm enjoying and I think is helping me kind of consume it. Yeah, in bite-sized chunks. So it's pretty good. And I, of course, I'm always going to love a ancient Greek mythology motif. I'm like always going to love that. And I am loving it. So
Got it.
let's go! This was not my most successful reading vlog. We had a couple activities, as you saw, throughout the weekend, and I did finish. I went to my local library in between some appointments, and I finished Claire Pollard's Delphi. I enjoyed it. I don't think I'm somebody that likes an unlikable narrator. I felt some similarities between this narrator and the one in I Love You, But I've Chosen Darkness. I really enjoyed the ancient Greek mythology elements. I thought that way of packaging the novel and presenting the comings and goings of life during COVID and during lockdown was very interesting. The ending for me was not very strong. I'm kind of surprised. I'm editing the video right now, and I'm kind of surprised at one point I said I was loving it. Looking back upon it, I would not say I love it, but it was enjoyable. I also don't know if I enjoy a pandemic novel. I didn't really like Station 11, and this one was just fine. It was just fine. If you like unlikable narrators, if you like unhappy marriages, just like get a divorce already marriages, if you like conflicted mothers, if you like ancient Greek mythology, if you just want to relive 2020, and you know what, you might want to, I would recommend this book. Yeah, so that's kind of it. So that's the vlog. Listen, it's the next Friday. I'm about to start another weekend reading vlog. So I just wanted to wrap this up and tell you that I love you. And thank you for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.